Hi, I am Ayana Vasquez, and today I am going to be talking about critical thinking and argumentation in communication. And here's my audience. Thank you. The purpose of this speech is to basically inform all of you of critical thinking and argumentation within groups. My 3 key points are what critical thinking and argumentation mean in communication, the main components of critical thinking and argumentation, and how to use effective communication in critical thinking and argumentation. So I guess just think about how often we communicate every single day, whether it's in group chats, over text, in classrooms, during work meetings, and even with all that communication, people still misunderstand each other and make poor decisions because they aren't stopping to think critically about what is actually being said. So I will be discussing the importance of critical thinking and argumentation within group settings. These skills will help you analyze information, express your ideas more clearly, and make more logical decisions. And basically without all of those, discussions can become confusing or one-sided, or even lead to miscommunication that leads to poor outcomes. As a student who participates in group discussions, I have seen how effective reasoning and respectful argumentation can make collaboration more meaningful and more productive. And so, what they mean in communication. Critical thinking and argumentation are 2 essential processes that shape how individuals communicate and make decisions when in group settings. Critical thinking requires analyzing and interpreting information before a conclusion is formed, and it allows people to question assumptions, acknowledge any biases, and assess the evidence rather than focusing on just the emotions. In this book, he writes, critical thinking is a metacognitive process that through purposeful self-regulatory reflective judgment consists of a number of sub-skills and dispositions that, when appropriately, increases the chances of producing a logical solution to a problem or a valid conclusion to an argument. And that quote basically reinforces what critical thinking involves, and basically to form a deeper judgment. On the other hand, argumentation is the process of presenting a claim that is backed by evidence and connected through reasoning to form a conclusion. And it's about engaging in a productive process that will deepen the understanding of the topic. In our course textbook, both authors wrote, effective argumentation helps groups understand and analyze ideas, influence members to make informed decisions, and the quality and quantity of argumentation are specific facts in determining whether a group achieves its common goal. And that quote basically explains what critical thinking and argumentation are in short, and why they're important in communication. And both of these processes are important because they motivate the group members to think thoroughly, listen to each other, and communicate more effectively. And when groups use both of these tools, they will avoid a rushed agreement and be able to reach a thoughtful and evidence-based conclusion. On to key point number 2, the main components of critical thinking and argumentation. In our course textbook, actually, we did a discussion on this. There are 6 components of arguments: claim, evidence, warrant, backing, reservation, and qualifier. Claim states the conclusion of the argument. Evidence is the facts or statistics and other materials that support the claim. Warrant explains and justifies how evidence supports a claim. The backing provides the support for arguments. Reservation recognizes the conditions under which a claim may not be true. And the qualifier states the degree to which a claim appears to be true. All of these components are important because they provide a direct, logical, and fair composition for presenting ideas. Each component plays an important role in helping people communicate and think more critically. Critical thinking is the conscious process of assessing the valid points of the claims, the evidence and the reasoning intending to research a justified conclusion or decision. Critical thinking isn't about just trying to criticize other people and their ideas, but to analyze and evaluate what is being read, said, seen, or heard. And these are important because it leads to a stronger and better judgment and can be used in your school life, your work life, group settings, everyday life. And on to main point number 3, how to use effective communication in critical thinking and argumentation. Critical thinking and argumentation are both very important in group settings because they help groups communicate, assess ideas, and make well-informed decisions. Critical thinking helps group members assess ideas and avoid acquiring false or information that's clearly biased, and it makes sure that decisions are derived from evidence and logical reasoning rather than being formed from opinions or, I guess, emotions. Effective communication is very important for applying critical thinking and argumentation, and by listening actively, asking questions, and clarifying ideas, you can assess the information. The main components of critical thinking are analysis, because that breaks down the information to be able to understand the meaning behind it, and analyzing what someone said versus what people assume that it meant. The second is evaluation, and that's just judging the credibility of information or arguments. Third is interpretation, and that's just understanding and explaining the meaning of the information that's being said. Number 4 is interface, which is just forming logical conclusions based on the evidence and reasoning that's being presented. Number 5 is explanation, so articulating reasoning and the evidence behind them. Number 6 is reflection, so reflecting on your own biases and your own emotions so that they're not getting in the way of, I guess, making decisions. Last is open-mindedness, so just considering alternative viewpoints and considering the new evidence that's being presented and just going into it with an open mind so that you're not prejudging everything. Argumentation is important in group settings because it is an organized way for group members to present their ideas, back them up with evidence, and be able to explain their reasoning. And it helps them compare different perspectives fairly and make informed decisions off of that. Both skills together allow group members to challenge flawed ideas and be able to support the stronger ones. And by applying these skills, groups can make better decisions that are well informed and more likely to help achieve the shared common goal that the group has. So in conclusion, hopefully now you all know how argumentation and critical thinking work and how they are important for groups and the components and how to use them. And so the next time you're in a group discussion, remember that thinking critically and arguing isn't about winning, but helping your group make the best decisions possible. And I just want to thank all of you for letting me tell you about critical thinking and argumentation in groups. And these are the books that I used to research my topic, along with the course textbook. And yeah, thank you.